doesn't turn up after a Mandem assembled.
Wait, can we circle up also? I don't like this whole.
Behind. I was trying to give him bunny ears. It was like some joke. I liked them really well.
Does someone have anything to eat and drink? I'm starving.
Yeah, you did.
Abdul's the reason he bought that shop, you know.
No, I just woke up.
Right.
Guys, make a circle. All right.
Isn't this circle?
What? This is pretty good.
Just make it bigger. It's too small, I think. No.
Listen,
you don't get to choose the size.
Yeah. Sometimes you dealt unfair cards.
Sometimes
you can do something about it though. Maybe question mark, or is that just fucking false ads?
I won't make it smaller.
Ved tried it. It didn't work.
What they do? Like take shit off the back of your leg or something, and then just put it on the end?
About right now?
What did Ved do? Hold on.
Yeah, my.
So it was Denzel with Shinigami.
Is that where he is? Don't they?
They inject.
Did he answer?
Yeah, they inject it.
Yeah.
Like swell it up. Fluid of some kind.
Probably that's just like a bit counterproductive.
Well, no. If you put fluid inside of a balloon, it gets bigger. No. That's what they do with your knob, mate. They inject it. It gets bigger.
It's injecting knobs.
Yeah, and
Ved apparently.
Will they drain blood from it?
I don't care. What's the answer? I don't care. What's the answer? I don't care if Winston's on the phone to you.
Thinking about just injecting it just sounded. Ooh, nope.
Are you
Someone
coming to
shoot. That's the thing is, I would see one of the OGs shooting Moses. I mean, I see one of the OGs shooting T.
I don't hear your S14. Oh, there we go. Now I hear it.
I just checked. The meeting's at 6 and the server's at 8. Oof. Okay. I appreciate you letting me know, Casey.
I said I don't hear your car on the driveway.
You think you'll be home by 8, bro? You think you'll be home by 8, mate? Okay, first of all, Denzel, why not on radio, mate?
I was on the radio. I just couldn't hear anything.
Oh.
Sorry,
You'll be home by 8.
Right. We have had a day and a half. I think we can agree. But basically, I want to just get everything out. Tell you my plans, our plans, work out what our plans are, and move forward with everything. First thing I want to say is obviously we had the whole T saying a week thing and about how it's like he's going to give it a week and see how it is. Forget that. I don't want anyone even thinking about the week thing. No one has to prove him anything. This is about doing this for ourselves and doing this for the Mandem as a whole and moving forward, regardless of if he's here or if he's not. No 1 week of trying and then, oh yeah, okay, this has happened with T, now it's over. No, this is the start of the rebuild. And leading from that, when I say this, I need 100% honesty from everyone in this circle, right? Because this is going to be the one opportunity that this is going to happen. And then it won't be like that no more. If there's anyone in the circle at all that has any doubts about whether this is where they want to be, their heart's not fully in it, they don't know if they're ready to make the change and be involved in the next step and to better us, this is the one opportunity for you to speak up, voice that, step away without getting harmed. Because I don't want no one around here that's not in it. So everyone's in it. Every single one of us wants to do this.
Even if T's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it.
You're gonna have no one in a week's time going, I'm dipping because T's dipping.
Let him.
I mean, if they do that,
why do you guys think people are gonna dip because T's dipping?
It's not about why you're dipping, who's dipping for what reason. It doesn't matter. You could dip because it's cold outside. If you dip, you're leaving all of us behind and you're not prepared to be a part of the journey. That's why I'm asking. If people are doubted, this is the one time you can go peacefully.
Question, just so there's no confusion. Moses, when T said he's out, didn't you do something?
Yeah, I told him he's a bitch.
Okay.
And you dropped your chain.
Well, why did I drop my chain? I told you I dropped my chain.
Why? I wasn't
What was the
there,
reason?
please.
What was the reasoning for that?
Well, T said he wants the gang to move forward. He wants us to be in a better place. So I said, you want what's best for the gang, right? Probably means having people around like me. I mean, not having people around like me who barely wake up. So I dropped my chain and left. You guys thought I left because T was leaving?
So your reasoning for dropping that is what you're saying is you felt like you was holding us back.
Yeah. I mean, it's obvious that that's how some of you feel.
And once again, 100% honesty. No beating around the bush. In this group, who feels like Moses is holding the group back?
If you feel that way, fucking say it.
Why?
No, I'm telling them, like, if they feel like they're holding
that's what I'm saying,
back,
because I would have assumed people might have spoke up there. I'm not gonna lie, because I know there's tensions.
It takes a lot to hold the gang back. Like I don't think you've
yeah,
not done anything.
it's a lot different not waking up, and when you are awake to have a bad mentality, you know, that has a bad effect. But if you don't wake up as often, that's fine, as long as when you're here, you're in it for the Mandem. You feel me? That's completely different. Everybody's around different, so.
It's also unfair to single out Moses for not being around because he's not the only person.
No, nobody has said
multiple
nothing
people
about
laying
that,
around. It happens, but I don't. I mean, me personally, I've said this before. I do not give a shit. Like, if you're around or not, it doesn't matter. It's what you do when you're around that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter how frequently it is. It literally makes no difference. Just when you're around, is having the right mentality, doing shit properly. I personally don't feel like you're holding the group back. I think there's definitely tensions, and I think there's a lot of differences, which is another thing I wanted to talk about. Like, there is very different mentalities throughout the group. 100%. Everyone has a very different perspective of what they want for the gang and where they think the best of us is, and where another person thinks it is. And it does have opposites. And that's something we're going to have to tackle. And it's not going to be an easy task to tackle, but we're going to have to find a vision that aligns and brings those two sides together that can agree on something. And if we can't agree on that one thing, then that's unfortunate, and maybe it's not right.
It's also hard for me to answer that question. If we're here for the Mandem to stay, I am, but it depends on a few things. For example, for me personally, and I know there's a few of us who don't agree with that. And what I'm about to say is not, I don't want to be another Hydra. I don't want to be another CG. I don't want to be another GG or C-side. But what I want us to be is that when people come fuck with us or think twice before fucking with us, I don't want to have the street reputation or whatever other guys looking up on us like, it's Mandem, you know? I want them to fear us, and not fear us, but know the consequences if you do something towards us, right? And for us to hold our own. And if we don't want to move in that direction, literally more gang, then I don't know if I have the heart to be in it.
Well, I put thought to that. And I think there is a divide when it comes to that. There's people who are more inclined to want to stand up for themselves, and there's people more happy to go about their business, right? And I've mentioned this to a couple of people already. There is a lot of people around, and I know we always say we don't want to be like other gangs, but it doesn't have to be like them. But a way that you can do shit is you have people in place to deal with the issues. You have those people that are dedicated to being the ones that when it gets hot, when it starts heating up on the streets, they are the people that handle it. And then you can have another side of the group that is not as much inclined to be involved in all of that stuff. Doesn't mean they can't get involved if they want to. It's just two sides. You don't necessarily need to have every single member in the gang involved in everything. In the same way that some people can hack, some people can't. Some people are drivers, some people aren't. You know? It doesn't have to be a thing of you're forced to get involved in that. Because we are going to have to start having a backbone in the right situations so that we don't get stepped on. Because a big issue is we have looked weak for the longest. That's what's happened with the Saints. We've looked weak for a very, very long time. At this point, it's just people see us as a chance to just come get an easy lick without any repercussion.
Yeah, and that's
last
what
night
I mean.
was a good example of it. Like, the Saints didn't even hesitate when they seen it was us. There was no. Oh fuck! We
Yeah,
shouldn't do
and
this,
I don't think they would have done that with another group. They maybe would have thought twice about it. And we can put things in place to deal with those kind of situations, but it doesn't mean we have to be this gang thing, right? Because everyone has a fear of being just a shooter gang. That's been feared for ages. Everyone talks about that. No one wants to be like that. But it doesn't mean you can't stand up for yourself. Exactly. You don't need to just defending yourself. Understanding how to handle conflicts, putting the right people in those conflicts is all you need to do. Miguel made a very good point when it came to the Saints stuff. We didn't really play to our strengths in that war, and in a lot of wars, you know, we stick it on them. We did it in a way that we felt was right at the time. But when it comes to conflicts and stuff like that, we definitely can hold our own. It's just about going about it in the right way, putting the people who genuinely want to be there, and letting them deal with it. And if it's something people can agree on, and that they're happy to have people who are more on that side, and people who are less involved, then that's something we can do. Because not everyone has to be involved in that.
Can I quickly just touch on what you just said?
Mm-hmm.
I think part of the reason why we are so divided in the first place is because we try to define everyone's roles. I think that when we try to tell everyone what they can and are not good at, when we had a shooter squad, the 6 that always rolled out during wars, I think that's when we got divided the most. I think moving forward, I think we should just blur the lines between what everyone wants to do, not divide everyone. Because the thing is, I understand that some of us want to move in one direction, the others want to move in a different one. But that doesn't mean that we don't want to always move in that direction. We want to cross paths sometimes, if that makes sense. And I believe that if you're going to tell people that they're good at this, therefore they should stick to that. Or you think that they want to do this, therefore they can only do that. I think that's how the division grew in the first place. I'm not sure how to fix that, how to even go about this, but my problem has always been that I felt like nobody trusted me to do anything other than just be an extra hand, right? Like nobody trusted me to be the shooter squad. Nobody just trusted me to go to the meth lab, all of that stuff, right? Doesn't mean I don't want to do it. I'm always down to do whatever. But I feel like because people have like such a predefined idea of what I want to do, they don't think I'm capable of doing anything else, right? I'm not saying that that's the case. I'm just saying that that's how I felt. And I
respect the honesty.
And I felt like I feel like if you go down the route where you just do what you decide what we think we want to do, I think that's just gonna grow more division, right?
See, the thing is, it's not being decided. That's the thing that it needs to be made clear, right? We have had a lot of times where we've been in issues, and it's very clear who wants to be involved in those and who doesn't, right? It's not saying that, for example, Matt is now only going to be doing this, only going to be in a war fight, right? He can go do whatever the fuck he wants, but it's the same people that want to do those things. So all we're saying is we build the synergy with the people who do that kind of stuff. And if people switch out, they can get involved. It's just about actually having an invested group to protect us. Because it's always just a put together of some people who are really in it, and you got people who aren't really that bothered or aren't listening, you know, and it makes it complicated. Sometimes it's easier for some people to just stay out of the way.
But we did have a main war 6, but the main war 6 gave up on the war.
With that all being said, if you do feel like you're being left out and we're just assuming...
So we did have like a war main 6 until people didn't want a war anymore.
For example,
so we kind of did have that.
Showed interest in wanting to hack a bank.
I do see where they're coming from.
That, you know, Steve wanted to hack a vault. He's done that now, you know? You just have to show interest to the right people.
Yeah, oh, I've definitely shown interest.
To who, though? Like, I feel like you've never shown an interest to me, and you know.
Another thing is, it's a clean slate. I like anything previous to this point. Like, I want this to be seen as like a fresh start. Like, no preconceptions. Whatever you're saying, you felt like that. Everyone in this circle, this is one of our main issues for the longest. Everyone just needs to respect everyone equally, and hear people out, listen to everybody. And that's something that's going to not just happen overnight. We're going to have to work on it. We're going to have to like get the synergy, do things together, switch up the groups, you know, make sure it's always, we are interlocked. But it is doable. It is 100% doable. And if, like Matt said, show interest. Ask. If you want to do something, just be like, yo, let me come. Like, take initiative.
Like I have talked to other people about the things I want to do. Just because I didn't do it with Matt doesn't mean I haven't shown interest. Where a couple months ago, I literally asked Eli to show me from scratch how to grow my own wheat farm, because I was interested in that. Just because I didn't go to you, Matt, doesn't mean that I'm not showing interest.
You just gotta go the right avenues for the right thing, just like you did for the weed. You went to Els for the weed shit because you knew that he'd be able to show up for it.
Yeah, exactly.
And Moses, I got to agree with Matthew because I never did is this better?
Yeah, you're great, bro.
I never did the blue stuff because I was heavily invested in the ganja. But I feel like now when we set up an operation where it's different, I now have time to help the gang more in the blue as well. There has been like 6 people trying to help me get as high as possible, as quick as possible, and I didn't even ask for help. You feel me? So it's not, nobody has any like bad emotions towards you or nothing, brother. You just gotta, you can't just wait for the cake to be handled to you. Go and take a bite from the cake, brother. It's on you. Be here.
That's what I did.
Be here when you can. Voice your opinion. Be one of us. You feel me? We all love you. We all want you here. And we have the proof. Everybody was asked, is there anybody who has any issue with it? No. Everybody was quiet.
That's communication as well. If you a lot of times I feel like we tell ourselves that oh, so and so might have a problem with me, but like it won't be spoke about. There's a lot of talking in little private conversations rather than just addressing the issue one-on-one. Like all you got to do is hash it out. We all wear the same chain. We all have the same motives. If there's anything that arises, we don't need to just make it some fat issue over a little argument. Just go speak to him. Get it sorted. Like at the end of the day, if someone's going to come to me and be like, oh, so-and-so said this about me and da-da-da-da. If it's not affecting the gang, you should be able to deal with it yourselves. Like a good example is Moses and Jay had a tiff on the block. Afterwards, you grouped up on that task and you worked together on something, right? You sorted it out. You don't need to let those things happen. You can nip them in the bud and work together. That's all you gotta do. Is everyone just have everyone's best interest?
I think Sparky will make a good leader, but also the motivation from everyone.
Like, there's always gonna be
actually putting in work. Will help a lot
people
too.
Who are really close and people who are around at the same time and others who aren't around at the same time. That's always going to be a thing. It's just making it positive, making those constructive clicks rather than some like negative clicks. You know what I mean?
I think people will listen. That's the thing, which will be good.
Yeah, I hear that.
On the topic of common goal, right? This is going to be the biggest thing of the whole thing. Doesn't have to be a thing right now. But for the last 9 months, no idea what any of us wanted as a group. We need to get a common goal and decide as a group what we all want. It's not easy, but that needs to be done to move forward.
I think a lot of people have the same goal, but always just trying to get there. I mean, how many times have we had the conversation about being more gang, being more respected, being more feared, you know, being more because we went from being like that to then turn around being like, nah, we need to be more approachable. And then we became more approachable, but I think we let it slip, and a lot of people, and we've already mentioned it, do want to be a bit more gang, like the whole Saint shit. Like, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, I can't lie. The reason why there was a switch is because we wanted.
It depends on.
We were going a gang route.
About it the same
Burning
way.
Prio
so with me,
as a gang.
Me personally, if I was gonna do
I think that's what. That's what.
Gang back in the
if it doesn't make sense in RP, why we made that
7-man pushing.
Why we made that
pushing blue.
Switch
was
for the boys to earn RP.
You know, people knew we were in the ends. That's how.
That's
I
why
would
there
do
was
it,
that
but I
sudden
know not
switch of
everybody
being gang to
would
going
like
back
to
to
do it that way.
let's be more approachable.
That's you being a gangster.
Yeah, but not everybody
That's the
wants to do it
life.
that way.
Moose,
though.
how are
Not
you?
everyone wants to do it that
You know
way.
what? Like,
I'm good. I'm good.
I
I'm
think
good. We'll have to see about 4.0.
it's like drawing a line down the middle in it of approachable, but it's like compare it to like a dog. A dog that you can have a nice time with. You can stroke it, but if you piss it off, it's gonna bite. Having that balance, you can have relationships.
One doesn't have to rule out the other.
No,
It's
yeah,
a case of making them realize
that
it's kindness, not weakness.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's definitely doable. Like I would say, as a group, we are notoriously approachable, right? Like look at how many hangarounds we get and like people coming through and new faces.
So they're happy with gang. As long as we're not
that, we definitely don't struggle with, and that comes natural to us. The other side,
becoming a pure
natural,
PvP gang.
That's something that we.
Other than that, I'm happy.
We can work on. All we got to do is try to find a line down the middle, and if everyone can and right now agree that that's what they would want, is like approachable, but we bite back when necessary, and we all share the same vision.
And that will come with taking L's in the future.
100%.
And at the end of the day, mistake.
Oh my goodness. What you say?
I'm gonna be thinking about food while everyone's waking up.
Yeah, you're good. Someone just said gimp. They didn't even like try to string together a sentence. They just literally said gimp. That's crazy. Are you talking, Patar, by the way? We can't hear you if you're talking.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I saw your chin moving. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah. I think only thing I was thinking about is like the war sects. I feel like, especially the Saints War, everyone other than Steve and Winston pretty much gave up on that war, I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong to say that, but I feel like that's why I was so open to paying them the 2 mil, because I didn't want to force anyone to fight a war they weren't like mentally there for, you know?
Yeah, no, 100%. But that's why I think it's like it's the having not a division, but like having people who are more well versed in that world, right? Like,
yeah,
and let them do that shit.
Yeah.
Because it is a big thing is like synergy and understanding each other and stuff. And I know it's something that like a few other gangs do, where they've got their people who are more likely to dabble in wars, and they've got people who are more likely to just be on the day-to-day. And that's not me saying we need to go get 6 absolute demons. It's more about this like building up like a good chemistry between the people who do get in those situations.
Yeah. Because I'm not gonna lie, Steve, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when we actually learned from like our convoy mistakes, I'm not gonna lie, I think we could have taken them on the streets.
I think he's thinking about food.
But
you are right though. You are right. It is like, it's not just about like how straight can you shoot.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's the synergy and the like mental for it too.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does get draining.
Yep, 100%. And that's like even that whole concept, like the having like people who are more dedicated to that side of stuff. That's this is all like up for discussion. Like ultimately, it's I've had a day to think through some things, so it's like I want to get people's opinions on things as well, because that, like, as much as I am the leader, it's also very much up us. I don't want it to be.
Yeah, no, I 100% get that.
Like, I will give direction and I will guide us to a good place, but I want everyone to be able to speak up for what they like think. Like I always did against T. If I ever thought something, I'd say it, and I want that to be the consensus of the group.
Yeah.
People to share what they think but also know there's a time and a place, and sometimes a decision will have to get made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Need to stay around here as well whenever we're doing fights. So this whole thing isn't just about fights anyway, but
The thing is, we are strong in a convoy. It's just, we just didn't like. I think, especially with the Saints War, at least myself, I was kind of looking for someone that could lead the convoys. Because without someone leading a convoy, they go to shit. Because everyone starts like shot calling, and it's when 3 people are shot calling, it just goes to shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Ultimately, when we're in those situations, when we're in conflict, it should be for the most part, Steve and Jay giving direction, because they work the best at that.
Yeah.
Moaning. While there's less of you here, what's your thoughts on the whole being approachable, like maintaining the Mandem way, but also having a line, and when that line gets crossed, being able to do something about it?
No, 100%. I think we should be an approachable entity. People will respect us to a point where like they'll be like, yeah, they're cool people. I don't want to really ruin that relationship. But if they cross that line, then they'll reap the consequences, you know? But I don't want it to be a point where, like, for example, Tony calls me on the phone and I start chirping at him for no reason and we start a war, you know?
Yeah, no, I don't think I can't lie, bro. We just need a group that we can say, yeah, roll out, and they actually put in work.
Yeah, that's exactly like what I was trying to get across, is that we have it doesn't even have to be like, we have a Demon 6. Just a group that understands each other, you know, and like it's got good synergy, and it's good out there.
No, because I'm not gonna lie, I work so much better with less people. Like, for example, when we wiped PD, when me and Steve were wiping PD, when like I think it's just finding that group that works well with each other and have that synergy, you know, because I have better synergy with 1 or 2 people versus a group. Not saying
when there's too many cooks, bro.
Yeah, that's the thing is, if I have direction from one person, I can do work. But when there's like 10 people shouting this, that, I just get lost.
Yeah, that's why I think in those situations you need a set person that is like guiding, and everyone else follows suit.
Like, for example, the Saints War. I feel like, yeah, we had very capable people fighting in that war, but every single capable person there was someone trying to lead it. And I would say everyone in that group had a listening issue. Even if it isn't intentional. Like, I think James is part of that. I think Jay's part of that. I think Steve, myself, like, we all have listening issues when it comes down to being.
I think it comes down to trust as well, doesn't it? Really, and like trusting that your judgment is better than the person making the call.
Yeah, that's 100%.
Which ultimately, we just need to get used to trusting, because there's a lot of trust issues.
Yeah, like we struggled to listen. Like literally in one of the fights, we were kind of pinned. I said, "Stay with me," and I'm not saying they shouldn't have listened, but they didn't, and then I kind of went off on my own because of that, and then we all just got isolated individually. But at that point, is it my fault for running off because they didn't listen, or is it them not listening? It becomes a.
I mean, just for example, Matt, when we wiped PD, there was like 30 cops down, right?
Yeah, it was a lot, bro.
Who came with us? It was who's the other people that came with us? Because we had 2 that came with us, no?
It was Was Sparky, you were there, right?
I
Sparky
pulled up
came
after, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, not after, but like at the back end of the shootout when you was
With
cleaning
that
up.
PD wipe, we never had more than like three, four people at once.
At most. Yeah.
Like when people pulled up, like when we pulled up at the beginning, Cruzer was smoked already.
Yeah.
Like
and then
when we
T
went
was
through
with
the
us,
fight,
and then
T got stormtrooper charged.
I remember what it was. It was me, you, T, and James that went there. And I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of a blessing that T and James went down quick, because then that allowed me and you to focus on the situation.
It was just us three left, wasn't it?
Yeah.
At the end of it,
and then we got Sparky, and then we just cleaned them out.
Like, I'm not trying to cuss out James Insiders here by saying this, and I'd say this to him as well. Like, James is very talented, but he struggles listening, like, when someone else is trying to lead, and I'm in the same boat as that.
Yeah, and if you can be self-aware of that and you can change it, that's the first step in it. You know that you do it, so then
yeah,
it's still will change.
I'm trying,
just trust.
But...
It is that. It's
yeah.
like, so if someone makes a call on the radio, go with it in that setting, and then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, you can deal with it afterwards. But this whole thing isn't just about like the whole conflict side of this. Like, that is also something that can be worked on over time. It doesn't have to be like spoke about right now. Right now, there's a lot more pressing things than just that aspect of the game.
Mm-hmm.
The whole like aligning our view is very important. But if everyone's on the same page with the whole being approachable, working on our connections, being useful, like that's the thing we've always spoke about, is people need to be useful to other people, otherwise no one's going to give a shit. That's how the city is. Having that, but also a balance of, you know, when that kindness gets taken and abused, then we are able to do something about it. There might be times when we try to do something about it and it doesn't go our way, but that's still better than just letting it run. Because everyone's safe and we still stood up for ourselves. So like, just chat to me, like all of you, like as a just us as a group, like, is that what we want?
Can you repeat that? I wasn't here for the whole thing.
Like being approachable, making ourselves useful, and like being assets that we were. But while also, if there's a line that's crossed, we have the ability to do something about it and show ourselves.
Sparky?
Yes?
It would be preferable if we went like around and everybody had their say, because if it's like, if the word is free and everybody can say their piece, a lot of
we can
people
do that.
will just stay quiet the whole meeting. You feel
Let's do that. Let's start with Vince.
Okay, well, I think...
Speak up, please, Vince.
Yes, sorry about that, Square. I think you said that
not
obviously
another
there's a little
copy
bit
paste.
of a division at times when it comes to certain things in the gang, and I think there's definitely opposing opinions from certain people, and there's a little bit of like how to say it. I think there's a little bit of tension between a couple people, which I think will get resolved with time. I think I definitely do. I think some people, including, I'll be honest, including myself at times, I like to think that I've been here for a while, and like I like some of the things that the Mandem had in the past, which I don't want to lose, but I'm also incredibly willing for change for the gang, right? Change that allows us to adapt. And I thought about it as kind of like a metaphor.
I would also like to say everyone has 60 seconds to make their point. Your timer starts now.
Okay, right. Metaphor. My metaphor is, if you were to look at it almost like a business, right? A business that stays sat in the past, right, will fall off in the future because it doesn't change with the times. You have to adapt. You have to, switch up a couple of things, but you still keep your fundamentals. Think of a business like McDonald's, for instance. You won't ever see them
Vince,
get rid of the
what
golden
the fuck
arches.
are you chatting about right now? Do you want to be approachable
you told me
and
to
also?
Talk and I didn't even know.
Yeah, bro.
I just thought I'd just start talking.
Listen.
really
Do
just
you want to be approachable and have the connections and have that side, but also be ready to stand up for ourselves when stuff goes wrong? Is that what you want our base level principle to be?
I did.
Yes or no?
I could have just fucking said yes then.
Oh my god.
Else?
I wanted to give like some inspirational speech.
You've had your 60 seconds. Yes, let's see how it goes. Done.
Okay, Moses.
But Eli, you don't want to say anything?
Nah, I mean, we never know until we try it. So let's try it. If it don't work, it don't work. Simple as that.
Wait, try what though? You didn't say anything. What
I
do
said
you
yes.
want?
I'm on board with us trying to be approachable, and if people try and step on us, we fucking fight back. Simple as. That's what I think we should do anyway.
Okay. No, I wholly agree with SK. In my opinion, I feel like everything started going to shit when we tried to be something that we're not. We all have our own strengths, and that's what we used to play at. We all built bridges individually and as a gang at some point, and then we just decided to tell everyone to suck their mum. And now we are where we are. But
now we will rebuild from that.
Exactly, but I also agree with some of you who say that we shouldn't just let people roll all over us, right? And we've always been like that. We don't let people roll all over us, and we did that by making sure that nobody had a reason to roll over us. We were close with everyone. We got what we needed through sheer charm and talking and just being friendly rather than just forcing our dick on the table and telling everyone to suck it.
The fact of the matter as well, though, is that was all well and good, but that's not currently how shit runs. Like, charisma is helpful, and you can have your good relationships. I mean, Patar and Denzel is a great display of that, but you also, if you don't learn to swim, you drown quick at the moment. I know that's not ideal, but that's the climate we live in, and that's what we're gonna have to adapt to. So that's why we have to go that down the middle. We can have what you're talking about, that charisma and that chat. It's gonna have to be a 50-50 so that we're still up with the times as well. Otherwise, it's just
an example of matching the energy as well.
Yeah, that was always our thing, innit? And yeah, Seaside is a perfect example.
We all thought we were building a bridge there, and then look what fucking happened.
Angels is a great example before Seaside.
When were you guys trying to build a bridge with Seaside? We've had
Denzel's been really close
in
with
the mornings.
Seaside.
Yeah, Denzel's been going.
Why? After the war, it's been. Well, we thought it was only up, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a lot better.
A lot of deals, a lot of fucking, you know, we were hanging out with them pretty regularly, all things considered, and then all this news came out. So.
And to be fair, the war wasn't a very I know it was gang versus gang, but the issue at hand wasn't very gang versus gang.
If that relationship wasn't there with Seaside,
no, I don't think that's the original war. We had a second war with them.
Yeah, if that relationship wasn't there with Seaside, that last war that we had with them would have been a very, very different war. That's all I can say.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Patar, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I'm down to be nice, but if people press that niceness, and if they take that niceness for a weakness, we show them what weakness is, and if we fail doing it, at least we tried and we learned from it, you know?
It's definitely better to try and put action, and if it goes wrong, try to fix it than just not do anything about it, for sure. I agree.
Yeah.
Cruiser?
Oh. I think y'all are I know that y'all will work this out, and I think what you're doing right now, SK, is exactly what, you know, everyone here needs to hear. So, you know, I would say that no matter what happens, you know, you're gonna sort this out, and all the boys and girls here, you know, it's gonna.
I can't cut him off because he's dying.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get this under control, and you're gonna be exactly where you all want to be.
We'll take the words of encouragement from Cruzer. We'll let you off because of the circumstances. Love you, bro. Jay, what are you saying?
Yeah, I've been said this for a minute. Obviously,
speak up.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I said, yeah, I've been said this for a minute. You know, about the whole like letting people push us around and shit. I do think with me as well, I will say that like, if we're gonna do that, we have to do that with everyone. And I say this because, me personally, I've always said that we need to be a bit tougher on the asshole cops, and I know everyone always comes with a counter argument of they're not all that bad, you know, like we try and be nice to the nice ones, I do also think if we are going to stop, like the people that push us over the most are them. That man bully us the most out of anyone.
Yeah, that's fresh on the mind as well with the meeting we had the other day.
Yeah, like them man bullying us up, and like I'm talking everything, you know, just racers, boosts, M-runs, don't matter what it is. These man bully us up, and I know obviously we're all a bit hesitant at times, but if we are gonna go down this route of being a fucking bad man, then you gotta be a bad man all the time, not just to some people and not just to some others. Gotta be all the time.
It's also just, it doesn't have to be, because I feel like the whole people don't like the connotations of being the tough gangbangers, and it's not that. It's when you're forced to be that way.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, for sure.
It's having it in you. Cops. Yeah, it's having it in you so that when there's a reason for that to come out, you can do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't mean walking around trying to pick fights, you know, blaming every cop, but just knowing that, like, you know, if these men start getting rude, you're there to back you.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's like we did in the past. Like, you look at some of the wars we fought in the past, right? Like, I would say the CG fight earned us a lot of respect because we stood up for ourselves, right? It was always Mandem was CG's little brother kind of vibes. We stood up for ourselves, and I'd say that war itself earned quite a lot of respect. We didn't, you know, roll them. We didn't go out on the field and do a madness, but we stood up for ourselves. What are you saying,
I think people forget as well, though. Sorry, like,
no, you're good.
A lot of these bigger gangs that did respect us or do respect us aren't around as much anymore. It's a lot of the other gangs that we didn't really build a relationship that are around nowadays, and they haven't earned that same level of respect that these other gangs have. Like the Saints, where the fuck were they 6 months ago? Nowhere.
Yeah, we never really had a relationship.
It's about changing with the times.
Can we put phones on silence, please? It's annoying for the one.
I also feel like we're straying away from the 60 seconds.
Sorry.
Go on.
Yeah.
That it?
You agree?
Guessing she agrees with what I said.
Yeah, it's just this thing is like, we've said this before, but I think people actually need to actually like instill this and actually do it. Because like, we sit here and say it over and over again, but it's never actually done. I think this time people actually need to do it.
Yep, that's why we're having to do it a school way of going around and getting it out of absolutely everybody, because it's how else are we going to all agree on it? And if it's agreed on with 5 people in a circle and then 3 of those people aren't actually agreeing on it, it's never going to go nowhere. But today is the start of it going somewhere. Winston.
Everybody here knows that my heart has always been here. If I'm not here, I'm nowhere. So, Mandem, on your fucking top head, I want us to be #1. I've always been that. I play soccer, I'm going to be the captain of it. I'm going to be #1. I don't give a fuck what it takes, but I'll do everything in my power. I might
be cool as well, because as the days go on,
you know,
I feel like SK is going to like learn more about.
I might fall short, but at
and,
least
work into the role. It could be cool to have like some meetings with some other gang leaders to like get some RP and stuff.
To do that, you know.
I'm going to stop you right there. What did you just call the game?
Football.
Okay, cool.
Football.
So the thing is, it's not. The question is, most of us will agree that that's what we want to be. I think the
be good to
bigger
like chat to
question is,
Miguel,
how do we get there? How do we adapt to be more of a force to be reckoned with when you push us into a corner?
That's something you gotta do as a group.
Yep.
Right now, that's what we're discovering.
Yeah,
synergy. Get used to working together. Be situated. Like, there's multiple instances where she can kick off. You can build synergy against cops. I mean, every time we do a coke run now, there's a risk of getting run up on. Like that's another avenue now where we can be prepared. Whenever we go to do chefing, there's that. Like, all of those times, it's helping us as a unit.
I agree.
James.
Yeah, no, pretty much in general I agree, but kind of what Jay said, where a lot of the gangs where being approachable and shit like that would have worked ain't about no more. Like, you got people like the Saints, you got Ross, who are very much more on the other end of the spectrum, where it's less of that and more, battling it out in the streets to solve conflicts. But you know, I'm down to try it. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how it goes.
Steven.
Sorry, can I say something? I had 5 seconds.
Go
I
ahead,
spoke
mate.
for
Go ahead.
55. I just want to mention something. When we go to a war, for example, Saints, they did all kinds of things to us. And when we destroyed them once... No, listen. It's important. So, do we want to match their energy? They take our cars. They make me lose money because I need to repair it.
Yes, simple answer to the question is
it.
energy is matched. If they're scummy, then that's what happens. Like,
good.
That's just the rules of war, right? If someone does something to one of us, they've set the energy. We're never gonna go and grab someone and then be the person to fucking pop the tires, put the car in the ocean dump them, right? But if that's the precedent they set, we match the energy.
Yeah, because it's guerrilla warfare. You don't only win by dropping them, funny enough. You need to be a mental warfare. I know CG did this a lot. Brother, they removed everybody from their businesses. They cut their connections with everybody else. They propaganda on Twitter and talk stuff that wasn't even true just to make them look bad. And eventually that's going to tear on you. That's going to want you to give up. You feel me? And that's what we need to start with mental warfare as well. It's fucking guerrilla warfare.
It's not all about aim and shooting pistols, bro.
Exactly.
It's a lot more than just that, and we could do that.
Yeah.
Listen, the only energy I ain't willing to match is fucking snitching, but I'm pretty sure.
No.
That's gang wide.
Yeah.
And then prime example is the Saints War when we won the fight at the block. It was fresh off me getting thrown in the ocean, all our cars getting ocean dumped. What did we do to them? We done the exact fucking same. The little prick that put me in the ocean got fucking sent off the pier along with all the cars.
Yeah, just know if anyone in this circle snitches, you're gone.
100%.
Yeah. Everyone should know that.
A fucking corpse.
I mean, James's book literally says, hold on.
Brother, you know what snitching is, man.
Yeah,
Snitch on your bank
Just
account.
doing it in seriousness and you know what I mean?
Snitching on yourself in a job is different than, say, running to cops and Suarez and like, yo, Seaside is doing this.
Yeah, well, how to do that?
What are you saying, Steven?
Clarifying it.
60
I agree.
seconds.
I think for that to happen, everyone needs to be on the same page of what they actually want. So if people step to us, that it happens. For example, last night, the Coke run, we got fucking ran up on and humiliated by Saints. Personally, what I want to do is on the next Coke run, do the exact same shit. So do it when there's no vault claims, so they know we're doing it again. And this time we're set up and ready for it. And if they pull up the same energy, they get their fucking shit smoked. Because they came to us last night with such a disrespectful energy, they can go fuck themselves. And if they get pissed for getting smoked for trying to rob us a second time on a Coke run, then I don't know what to tell them.
Yeah,
people need to be on the same
we
page,
discussed that
and
today.
Ideally, you know, people, I don't know, you know, if something happens, I feel like people need to agree on a set few people to make the decision for the fight or the war, or whatever it is, and we go with it. And if down the line it's not working out, we reconsider. But the worst thing that happens, in my opinion, for us when we were at war against the Saints, is there was too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
There was 3 or 4 people in the convoy that wanted to make the call to do this, to do that, do the other, and then they start doing conflicting calls over each other, and it confused people.
Yeah, from future, when we have any sort of situation like that, one person is appointed for it, and then they're just listened to. And that's something we're all gonna have to get better at, is listening to that. And it's a trusting, because people think that their own choice and their own decisions are better than the call that's given, and that's gonna help them out more. But it's trusting.
And that's inexperience, and it's inexperience. You feel me?
Maybe posing an idea for that potentially.
Once we got to the end of the circle, Denzel, go.
My apologies.
I think one of the main things we need to do, because I think a lot of us getting bitched recently has come from us just not being prepared in situations. You know, losing the bench, which led to us getting bitched in the war. Obviously, we weren't prepared when we were using the bench. Doing a Coke run last night, I know obviously we should have assumed there's always a possibility to get run up on. You know, if people were anticipating that, it wouldn't have happened. So yes, I do agree with standing our ground, but I also agree with minimalizing the shitty positions we put ourselves in by being unprepared.
Yeah, that's a good point. Always be ready for shit. Even when it comes down to like lab stuff, like literally we should always be ready for the worst.
And I will be honest, the only reason that we spotted the lab stuff is because James was in that area and he was vigilant. That area is lab. You You know what I mean? And he spotted somebody lurking around. That's the kind of energy we need to have all the time. You know, regardless of what we're doing, we just need to keep our heads on swivels at all time because we don't know, you know, who's plotting against us. They can be your best friend to your face. Example, me with Seaside. But they can be snaking you behind your back. And once that's found out, you cut them off. You know, you won't see me hanging around with Seaside. They're done for me. You know what I mean? It's not.
Keep gang information within the
seconds. That's funny. That's exactly what I was about to say after Matt's thing. Go Matt.
Everyone's kind of covered what I said. I can't lie. We just need to get it to the point where we have a team that can roll out and just put in work. Yeah. That's the sad reality of it. But I'm going to be honest. All of our problems we've had over the past couple of months comes down to we can't really go out if people try to walk over us because we're not that sort of gang. But sad reality is we got to start pushing that way, or we are just going to keep getting stepped on.
But we don't have to completely lose who we are. Like, this is one thing we all need to remember.
I don't think we ever will, and I feel like it's in us enough to not even have to worry about that. We do need, we need to just get better at listening. We need to adapt.
We just need to adapt.
Yeah. That's not reality.
What Winston was saying is 100% true. I feel like there's a lot of times where people have taken us for weak because a lot of the shit that goes on in this gang behind closed doors is not behind closed doors. Like, I would say that most of the time when there's situations going on that happen with us, you know, it gets through the grapevine like everything does in the city, and then people know when we're in a bad spot. Like, to the outside, we should never, ever, ever look vulnerable. And that's something we should work on. Even if we are at the rock bottom of times, like together as a group, anyone from the outside looking in should see us as we always are and shouldn't see any difference.
Yeah. The thing is, there's two things in a biker club, for example. You don't talk with the police and you don't talk about club business. Either of those will have you not only depatched, they don't only take your quote-unquote chain, they kill you. Keep the gang information here, brothers and sister, you know? Keep it here. It's important. We question ourselves how the fuck they know everything. I mean, why not? We're an open book.
Yeah. If anyone wants to find out anything, it's not hard for people to do. We just need to keep our shit, unless there's reason otherwise. Because people see weakness. It's be a monster or be eaten, really. And we've been food for a while. We just need to come together. And like, I really, really hope that even with everything going on, we all do this for each other. And the fact that none of us here want to see the Mandem gone. We want to keep this alive. We want to see this gang thrive and still be a part of this gang in a good position. We all just need to come together.
Now,
we're all here for the same reason.
On the point of being not as nice to the cops, they've been circling the block for the whole meeting, so
I know.
Anyone else is down to step outside and say hello.
Yeah, can I point that out? Because often I've just seen a cop just pull straight into the block, not giving a fuck. And when that happens, I press them and tell them to get the fuck out. I don't care who it is. Cops, unless they're invited, they should not be coming into that front gate.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Cops should not.
I don't remember what cop it was. He approached me back in the days, long ago, when we were fighting to be in the six, when we were deep and like fighting a lot.
Oh, he sat down.
I don't remember, but they said, we respect you a lot. And I said, why? And he explained it. It's like, you hold your ground. Like, we come to the block, we don't come with one unit. We might know there's fishy things going on, but unless we have a big backup, we leave you be. And that's exactly how other gangs been doing it, brother. This is our end. This is our home. They want to come here, they're going to feel pressed. We might not have to shoot them or do anything about it, but show presence and unity. We're strong, and this is ours.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why the people that they don't go in the south side. They don't fuck around on the south side.
Exactly.
Because they get pressed if they're on the south side. Not saying that we should, press.
Yeah, but with cops, you're right though. With cops, like, it doesn't have to be a south side press, but with cops, it kind of should be a south side level press with cops.
Yeah.
Yep.
You never know what they're gonna roll into the block and see. You know.
You know what the issue with that is? We pick and choose our favorites. So it's either we do it with all the
It
cops.
should be everyone. I don't have a favorite cop ever.
Yeah,
Who has a favorite cop? I mean, Suarez is okay, but he's a cop. He'll fuck us dry if he can.
Yeah, like I get that we have like
mean,
bridges built with some cops, but at the same time that shouldn't get in the way.
Yeah.
Of...
Well, I'm gonna say this now. I'm gonna be the first thing I'm gonna be doing now is clearing out my house, because if one of you guys take this chain off me, the Suarez's chain, and I get caught with it, I guarantee he'll try and raid my house and fuck me over the most he possibly can, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it's okay to be cool with a guy, but he will fuck you over and put you in behind bars for as long as he can, if he gets the opportunity to.
You okay, Cruzer?
You good?
Josh
Cruiser?
just launched AIM Labs.
Yeah.
Take
Yeah,
that,
I'm
man.
just
Take that.
listening.
You want a chair?
I just gave
No. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, we just apply that across the board. All cops, the block is just a no cop policy unless there's a reason for them to be here. Like we've called them here for a meeting or some shit. That should have always been. We just keep that energy across the board. Even if it's someone like Suarez, just be like, look, can't be here. It's a block. Unless you're asked. Yep.
I don't want to drag it on either, but just to touch back on the you know, when calls are made stuff, and people think they have a better idea in their mind. At the end of the day, if a call is made and everyone follows that call, even if it's a shit call, it can still work and it can still be good. If it's the best fucking call in the world and only 2 people do it, it's going to be shit no matter how good it was.
Yeah.
Everyone just needs to back it, and then afterwards we can learn from it.
Cruiser.
Do you mind if I say, you know, what you told me earlier?
Yeah.
Great. Now, obviously, I don't know if y'all understand or anything like that, but, you know, SK appointed me second in command, which I think is completely correct. So what I would like for y'all to do is to all take a seat real quick, please. That's right now.
I'm not even gonna do it because it's a sensitive subject.
That's it. Everybody take a seat.
Is this his wish?
I mean, this is news to me.
Fucking. All right.
Yeah, you were smoking. It's fine.
Oh,
Don't
was
worry
I?
about
I was
Still
high.
accept it.
Right, got you.
Yeah. But as he already said it,
bro, it's
as
Cruzer. He's
second in
dying.
command orders. I feel like there should be, and I think it's only fair that the new rule for the Mandem is that we have Tommy Cruizer Tuesdays. Okay, pretty much embrace. You understand? All right, and that's how it's gonna be from now on. All right.
You want Cruizer?
Wait, what do we do on the Tuesday?
Look.
Well, yeah. What do we do?
Shit.
What do we-
Actually, no. Fuck it. You talked for way too long. You can hold that.
We kick Vince every
Is there anything
Tuesday? I'm
specific?
down.
Yeah.
No, not
that's,
this.
That's rule number
Look.
1.
Cruiser, we can make you a deal.
Yeah.
You'll always be remembered, and on Tuesdays we can hit an oi Ronnie cruising for the boy. There you go.
I think that is a perfect thing to say. And that is why you have the leadership skills, and that's why you're there.
Also, I'd just like to voice I'd never said any of this to him, but he's dying, so I kind of have to let this run.
Yeah, he didn't really say anything.
I'd
I'd suck as that's who I see. Fuck that.
To conclude, because I equally don't want this to go on too long, obviously, this is very different for me, and us as a group, this is very different. Let's make everyone's life the best we can and push each other in the right direction. I can guarantee you one thing, and that is I am never, ever going to step away from this gang. I'm not going to drop a chain. I'm not going to quit. So,
I got
be
2 to
with
1 in
me,
6 months.
and we'll work together. And we will make Mandem the best we possibly can.
Mandem great again.
Make Mandem great again. Make
Yo, permission
Mandem
to
great
kill
again.
anybody who wants to leave.
Granted.
That's fucking
Thank you.
a definite.
But that chain has to be off their neck. If they drop a chain, boom.
Yup.
I want the spotlight.
But we got this. We can
Spotlight.
adapt. Every single one of us can do it. We can adapt. We can be better. We got this. And let's do it together. It's going to be a slow road, but this is the rebuild.
Can we do a run tomorrow, please? Chris,
Yeah, we
you
got
gonna be
enough.
around tomorrow?
Probably.